Hello and welcome to this session. My name is Deborah Elkin and I'm a technical solutions consultant with Google Cloud. I'll be presenting this session with Warren Vela. He's an enterprise integration architect with the Australian energy market operator. In this session, we will see how APIs can help you unlock the power of your existing data and how the Australian energy market operator is leveraging Apigee to do so. We will also see AEMO's APIs in action. We all know that this is the age of connected experiences. Your customers or your customers' customers want to interact with applications and data in different ways, in different channels, on different platforms. These interactions are constantly changing and everything's connected with everything else. APIs are key enablers of digital experiences. Think how pervasive Google Maps are or how booking systems have made our lives easier. Of course, there's data involved in all digital experiences, whether it be available flights on a travel booking system or your bank account details in online banking or just about anything you can think of, really. However, the data you need to build these digital experiences is often buried deep within a company's systems of record. It could be in data warehouses, data lakes, files that could be scattered everywhere, disparate systems, legacy systems hard to connect to. This data is most likely locked away, hard to get at, and it takes a lot of time to surface it. So, somewhere there is a system of record holding data that is hard to get at. It can take months or years to make the changes required to make that data available. But customer or consumers' expectations are high. They want the digital experience that is underpinned by that data, and they want it quick. This is where API management fits in. It fills the gap between the systems of record and the requirements of new digital experiences. It helps organizations build a bridge between legacy systems and modern applications. And it can build that bridge in a secure, reliable, and scalable way. So let's talk about Apigee. Apigee is Google Cloud's API management platform, not just an API gateway, and it gives you all the tools you need for unlocking your data via APIs. Apigee enables digital business acceleration with a unified and complete platform, purpose-built for the digital economy. Apigee makes it easier to manage the entire digital value chain with API services, developer services, and analytics services. Let's start at the bottom with API services. This is the API runtime and mediation engine. API services lets you manage the connection between the API consumers and the backend service. You have complete control over the request and the response. You can add security, transform requests and responses, orchestrate calls across multiple systems, impose rate limits and quotas, and prevent people from abusing your services. API Analytics helps you measure, tune, and monitor your API program. It enables end-to-end visibility across the digital value chain with developer analytics, operational and business metrics, reports about app performance, and custom reports that you may need. API Analytics helps you measure, tune, and monitor your API program. It enables end-to-end visibility across the digital value chain with developer analytics, operational and business metrics, reports about app performance, and custom reports that you may need. All are necessary to monitor, measure, and manage success of your API program. Developer services enable a great developer and community experience that accelerates API adoption, simplifies learning, and increases the business value of APIs. It provides a developer portal for your API consumers, along with features for packaging, monetizing your services, and data. When you're sharing your data, you want to make sure you do this in a secure way. When we talk about security, there are many different aspects. For instance, data should only reach the right audience. This is where authentication and authorization come in. In that respect, Apigee supports widely used standards such as OAuth and OpenID Connect. You also don't want anyone snooping around when the data is in transit. This is where encryption plays a key role. Apigee supports TLS, mutual TLS, and can support different configuration of these protocols when communicating with API clients and backend services that hold the data. For example, you may configure one-way TLS on the client side, but mutual TLS for one of your backends and one-way TLS for another. Auditing is also very important. You need to know who has accessed what data, who has made a change to the API that exposes that data. Apigee auditing and logging capabilities have you covered. Also, is there sensitive data? No problem. Use an Apigee extension to quickly redact data with GCP data loss prevention services. You could potentially think of making money out of your data as well. That is, if you wish to. Of course, not all APIs should necessarily be monetized. There are APIs that build consumer experience or drive indirect value. This should be free. For instance, think about APIs for ticket booking, finding store locations, product availability, etc. On the other hand, if your APIs help developers build apps that generate revenue, you may consider charging for those APIs. For example, APIs that provide weather data or messaging services. Apigee API monetization offers multiple options to set up charge plans. You can configure fee-based plans, volume-based plans. You can set up revenue sharing with developers, freemium models, etc. It also allows you to check monetization plan limits during API execution. In short, whether you want to build new digital experiences, create a partner ecosystem, or apply artificial intelligence or machine learning to your data, unlocking your data is the key. And APIs are the way to achieve this. We will now see how the Australian energy market operator is unlocking its data and putting it to effective work in an ecosystem. I'll now hand over to Warren.
Thank you, Deb. Hello, my name is Warren Valla and I am the Enterprise Integration Architect at the Australian Energy Market Operator. Today, I'd like to talk through how AEMO has partnered with Google and the Apigee platform to unlock the power of our existing data through APIs. We'll take a look at who AEMO is, some of the unique challenges the energy industry is facing, and how APIs have been instrumental in our digital transformation. So where does AEMO sit within the Australian energy market? AEMO is responsible for the day-to-day operations of the Australian energy market, which is made up of multiple markets covering both gas and electricity. On one side, AEMO manages the physical NEM grid, the transmission network, the large electricity towers that you may have seen around the country. On the other side, AEMO operates the financial energy markets to enable energy flow all the way from generation to the customer households via retailers. As you can see, some of the actors in the energy markets are typical large-scale generators such as coal power plants and wind farms, all the way to meter data providers, who are responsible for sending the meter data from households to AEMO. Sometimes this is automated via smart meters, and sometimes this is manually read. One of the biggest shifts we are seeing in the energy market is the active role of the customer, who is now also playing a critical part of the grid, especially as power is starting to flow two-way. That's into houses and now out of houses. Let's take a look at some of the technology challenges that the energy industry faces. If we look deeper into the national electricity market, which was built over 20 years ago, the systems are largely connected over either SCADA operational systems over private networks or market data, for example, dispatch data, which is an instruction sent to a generator every 5 minutes, or bids and offers into the market, which is received from generators and retailers, is still sent over to AEMO via batch-based systems over private networks. And with the increase of DER penetration across Australia, which is leading the world, we have a unique opportunity to unlock the value in our data over modern protocols. And so what can AEMO do about this? We have a unique opportunity where we are seeing an intersection between the energy industry transformation and our digital transformation. And as part of our digital transformation, we are tapping into these opportunities to enable new channels to really lower the barrier to entry, promoting further competition in the market. And as we digitize our systems, we are looking to foster innovation within the energy market, especially in the space of distributed energy. More importantly, we are seeing the rise of prosumers who are looking to take control of their energy profile and play an active part in this energy transformation. And so, working with Apigee has enabled us to start this journey as we look to reach a wider audience. Our new Apigee developer portal arms us with the tools to create a world-class developer experience, accelerate API adoption, simplify learning, and increase the business value of our APIs. Developers are the key consumers of our APIs, and we want to provide them with a great experience and make it really easy for them to discover, understand, test, and get going with our APIs. From having an interactive sandbox to test our APIs, to letting developers manage their own keys and access to the APIs, and not necessarily in an open-for-all approach, but with the right guardrails that Apigee offers. Our Apigee developer portal has all the tools the developer needs to integrate with us. Let's take a look at some of our large-scale programs with opportunities to unlock the value of our data. The energy industry is moving along with many programs centered around a common theme in distributed energy resources. Starting with the Distributed Energy Resource Register, the DER register allows registration of DER assets sitting behind the meter, for example, rooftop solar panels and household batteries. APIs have enabled for this data to be registered via the existing tools and mobile applications that electricians and installers are already used to. The virtual power plant trial has started to advance the integration of DER into the national electricity market, allowing consumers to group together to become a virtual power plant. APIs have enabled for the management of these VPPs, especially in the transfer of telemetry data. And in the space of 5-minute settlements, the market is moving to more granular data and settlement down to 5 minutes. APIs have enabled for meter data at 5-minute resolution to be sent across the country to AEMO's meter data management database. Next, we'll take a look at the CDR. The CDR is a national legislative program which is running across multiple industries, with the energy industry next in line. The CDR aims to give consumers better access to their own data and also allows competition by using a data-driven innovation approach. So let's take a look at how we are using the Apigee platform to support the CDR as a use case. Some of the key areas of why Apigee has been selected was the choice of implementation options, especially with the hybrid option giving us even more flexibility on where to host our APIs, whether that is in the Google Cloud platform or in our private cloud. Data sovereignty is especially important as we operate national critical infrastructure, and the flexibility of the platform allows us to host the platform to meet our strict obligations for the protection of our data. And so, the main focus of the Apigee platform is to manage our externally facing APIs. In the case of the CDP, this allows us to expose data from our metadata management systems. And like most organizations, we have data spread over multiple cloud platforms and on-prem systems, and Apigee allows us to unify the experience when integrating with our APIs. Apigee is truly enabling our digital transformation as we renovate our internal systems from legacy integration protocols to modern API ecosystems. Now we'll take a look at a live demo and explore how the Victorian government is using our APIs to provide a comparison service for Australian consumers. Here we have an example of an external consumer, the Victorian Government Energy Comparison website, who is consuming the AEMO CDP APIs to provide real-time metadata retrieval from AEMO's metadata management systems. And before the CDP APIs were available, the end user needed to complete over 10 questions, and in some cases, a PDF bill had to be uploaded. Now that the API is available, the user only needs to know their National Metering Identifier, or their NIMI, and the data is retrieved live from our API. I'll now hand it over to Deb to walk us through a live demo.
The demo we're about to see is from the point of view of a consumer wanting to understand which energy retailer offers the best rates for the particular electricity consumption patterns. I start looking around and I find a public website that has been set up by the Government of Victoria, Australia. When this website was first launched, the website would estimate the energy consumption pattern based on a series of answers provided by the consumer. This was the simplest option, but still required a lot of information to be provided. The other option was for the consumer to upload a PDF copy of their bill. I will now start answering all the questions I am being asked. After providing this information, I also need to provide details of my last electricity bill. At this point, I can finally see which rates are the most convenient to my particular situation, but I had to answer more than 10 questions to get here. And still, it is just an estimate. Let us now see how APIs that expose data can improve my user experience as well as provide more accurate results. So let's start again. This time, I will choose a different method for building my energy profile. Quick and accurate. This looks promising. All I need to provide is a NIMI. This is a unique identifier for the smart meter installed in my house. I can find it in my electricity bill. This option is now powered by IMO. What this means is that when I click on Get My Data, this website uses an IMO API to retrieve the actual energy consumption for my house in the last 12 months. This provides a very accurate picture on how I consume energy. Voila! I can now see the rates best suited to my household without having to go through a lengthy questionnaire. I, as a consumer, didn't even need to see the raw data coming back from the API. This user experience is facilitated by the APIs published by IMO. Looking at IMO's API portal, a developer can easily find the relevant APIs and understand how to use them. In this demo, we can appreciate the advantages of unlocking data via APIs. This is a public government website that leverages information held by IMO to provide a much better user experience. Not only are the suggestions more accurate to the consumer, but also the consumer can see them in a couple of clicks. Thank you for watching it.
So what's next for AEMO and Apigee? One of our main focus areas is to enable DER resources to be integrated into the grid, which will increase API calls to millions per day as we start to receive more and more telemetry data. And for the CDP API, we are looking to expand this service and enable data service holders to also provide data via the CDR gateway model. We're always looking to reduce our participant onboarding time and pivoting off our developer portal to provide the right amount of information and further reduce the time to first hello world. And of course, our API product portfolio is expanding as we continue to transform our systems as APIs become our primary form of integration for our critical market systems. Thank you for your time, and I'll now hand it back to Deb for some closing remarks.
Thank you, Warren. Today, we looked at how APIs can be used to securely expose your data and how the Australian energy market operator is doing this. We want to thank you for watching this session, and if you'd like to continue the conversation, we have set up some expert one-on-one sessions over the next couple of weeks. And of course, we will also be answering questions you submit in the question and answer section for this session. Thank you.